the School of Rockstars, and this is my first live interview. And I'm so excited. So in the background, I have a superwoman with me. I have all the powers. So I'm hoping I'll do my best. Like yesterday night, I did some homework. I spent few hours on what I need to ask Tommy T. Today, I'm interviewing Tommy T. He is great person and great individual. Hi Catherine, thank you for joining. Welcome to the School of Rockstars, and this is my first live interview. And I'm so excited. So in the background, I have a superwoman with me. I have all the powers. So I'm hoping I'll do my best. Yesterday night, I did some homework. I spent few hours on what I need to ask Tommy T. Today, I'm interviewing Tommy T. He is great person and great individual. Hi Catherine, thank you for joining. Yes, we have Tommy T with us.
But I'm trying to learn how to get past my cravings by, I'm using the Wim Hof method. I'm breathing through them. I am trying to stay busy. I started chewing gum, and to be honest with you, the cravings are getting less and less. And I didn't put out a day 22. I am. I've prepared. No.
Yeah, I also
Oh my
took
God. Just a couple. All right, let me get situated. All right. I got Tommy T with me.
And so start.
Start? Yeah. Hit me.
3,
I'm ready.
2, 1, go.
Wait, hold on. All right. Hit me.
Yes. For the audience, I would like to ask you about the background, where you born and where you grew up, and what is your childhood look like?
I grew up in Big Bear Lake, California. It's a small resort town in Southern California. And it's kind of an interesting place to grow up because you grow up in a resort town. Most of the people that live there, their jobs are service oriented. So I grew up learning how to serve the public from a young age. My grandparents owned an antique store called the House of Time. And my grandfather would repair the movements in the old clocks, and my mother would restore the cases. And the store and the house was connected. So my grandmother kind of raised me in an antique shop, and I could run around, and I was basically born into customer service. So I had a pretty regular childhood. I grew up and I went into the military at 19. I went into the Air Force and learned how to drink alcohol a lot. I got out of the Air Force in '95, and I've done several jobs since then. But most recently, I'm currently an aircraft mechanic in a small engine overhaul facility where, like the smaller planes that you see, the Cessnas and the little propeller planes,
Okay.
we overhaul those engines, and I run the test cell that makes sure that they operate correctly before they are okay to go out to be shipped.
Okay, like why you went into like you said you are in the Air Force. Like why you choose that path and what are the lessons you learned during that period?
In the Air Force, I learned, I went into the Air Force because I was afraid. I had a girlfriend, I had a wife. I got married very young, my high school sweetheart, and it wasn't because she was pregnant, but we were going to get married young, and I realized that I didn't feel fully prepared for the real world, and so I thought if I joined the military that they would teach me how to become a man, and I could, you know, learn the responsibilities of adulthood because I didn't feel ready yet, you know. So I kind of I call it I ran away to the Air Force, you know.
Oh, okay. I thought like you went for like a interest by interest or something else like.
I totally didn't. I didn't plan on going into the Air Force. You know how you take the test, the ASVAB test? Well, I took it in high school. I didn't even try. I didn't even try to do good because I'm like, I'm not joining the Air Force, you know. But I couldn't go to college, so I was kind of stuck, and I got scared, so I ran, you know.
Okay. Like, what are the, just a small question, what are the steps if somebody wants to join Air Force, like, will you recommend that or not?
I would say it all depends on the individual. Honestly, I learned a lot in the military. I learned a lot of things that I take for granted now that I'm seeing that other people, other kids my age, and I know it's a whole new generation, but there are things that I learned in the military that were just basic shit, like make your bed, keep your shoes shined, get a haircut, be a, you know, a decent citizen. And not everybody really knows how to do that. I was pretty clean cut prior too, but I had no direction of what course I wanted to take with my life and all of that. And I just kind of stuck my tail between my legs, in my opinion, and ran off to join the military because I knew that they would just tell me what to do, and it would be like school, and they're going to pay me a check, and you know, I'm too afraid to try to make it in the real world, and I can't afford college, so this is it.
But those small steps, like those are the like building steps for any entrepreneur. Like you have to make your bed, you have to like very disciplined, and
Yeah, but when you're an entrepreneur, you have to learn how to do all that yourself, and
yes, exactly.
you have to find the resources as opposed to being given the resources. You know,
Yes,
so it's a big difference. You have to learn the same lessons, but you have to teach them to yourself, and it's
self.
very different.
Yes.
That is not. If you want to be an entrepreneur, I would say don't go into the military. Honestly, you're just
Okay.
in my opinion, if you join the military, you're prolonging the amount of time it takes to adjust to the real world and real society, and the lessons that you're going to only learn by falling on your face and having to do it. The
Okay.
military prolongs it because all the shit's given to you. You got a paycheck. They put you through school. They train you. All you have to do is kind of show up and have a good attitude.
Okay.
Entrepreneurs, you have to learn all that. So,
Yeah, we
yeah,
have to learn in the grounds. Like we have to be by learning the process. We have to be in the process.
yeah. So, but
Um,
that's just my opinion. I would say if you're a young entrepreneur, somebody around your age that's looking to whether they should join the military or be an entrepreneur, and they really have a desire to be an entrepreneur, do not go in the military, because it's just going to prolong you're just being fed, you know.
Okay.
You don't have to learn how to be great. They only want you to be good. They just want you to be an employee. So that's what they're going to train you like.
Okay. And like,
Hey,
as
Bo.
yes, boys in the house, and like you joined life of school of life, and like what is your morning routine before joining school of life, and like what are the changes you made like in your morning routine or in your lifestyle after joining?
The School of Life literally changed my life, and I think it's because I went into it wanting it to change me. I was ready, and it was, you could say right time, right person, but when the teacher is ready, the student appears, or whatever, vice versa. But with the not the I had an expectation almost of, or I just believed, this is the thing that's gonna help me really get going. And so I allowed it to, and I let the teachings and all the stuff that Lily has really work and resound in me. You know, I kind of drink it in. Um, the things that she takes us through in the School of Life is the basic things, a lot along the lines of your one word. She teaches you how to find your one word if you haven't found it yet, and she teaches you how to gain your purpose for through your pain and stuff like that. And we have exercises of self-confidence, growing things, and the things that we're working on and stuff like that. It's very personal, the School of Life, because she addresses each one of the students, and it's very helpful in a small group situation too. It's just amazing. My
Okay.
takeaway, I could talk to you just for an hour on the School of Life alone. So
Yeah, like what is your morning routine before joining school of life, and after,
oh,
like what are the changes you made?
my morning routine, I guess I just started to, I always listen to Espresso in the morning with Evan Carmichael. That's the first thing in the morning when I'm taking off to work. I listen to that, and then another one, whatever comes up next. My morning routine changed from before going to School of Life. It went from a feeling of kind of like a sick feeling in my stomach on the way to work, with a
Okay.
dread throughout the day. I didn't really have a good set morning routine. I don't want to say that. I had the set morning routine. The thing that changed before and after was my attitude about the day, really. And so my morning routine didn't change, but my outlook changed. And then things just started to get better from there.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, like can you give us a small details like of what you do after you wake up and just glance off?
Uh, I can't honestly tell you that because I don't have much of one. That's something I need. That's something I need to do. And other than make my coffee and um, I do in the shower, I do try to think of gratitude things. Instead of waking up and dreading it, I try to say right away, what am I grateful for? And I talk myself into looking forward to the day as a blessing, and that it's a gift, and that I get to do it. And so I've been doing that for a little while, though. So I don't
But
want to tell you.
yeah, but it goes
I
in
don't
a
have a 4 minute, like Bo has a 4 minute morning thing, and it's awesome. I know Catherine does it, so Coffee Catherine does it. So, but I don't, and I'm not going to try to bullshit you. So I wake up and try to be grateful, and I listen to Evan Carmichael Espresso, and I get on Instagram and I try to support the people that I follow first, and then try to make something for them.
Yeah, you will inspire them. Like it's your one word. You believe in your one word.
I do. I
So,
really do.
like, what excited you to join School of Life? Like, what is the first thing? Like, why you join and what excited you to join?
I was listening to Lily Ma and Unlocking Lily, and I was considering doing getting a personal coach because, whoop, because wanting to become an entrepreneur on social media, I figured that she's new and fresh in the trenches. She's just become a personal coach, and she does social media with Evan, and he does it right. So I want to at least ask, how much do you cost? So I emailed her and I said, hey, I'm looking to do personal coaching, just wondering how much you cost. And she told me, and it turned out that School of Life was coming up, and she said, honestly, it's cheaper if you just attend the School of Life, and then you get the same sort of coaching plus the School of Life out of it. So she talked me out of being a personal client and into going to the School of Life, and since then I have become a regular client.
Okay.
So I just took enough courage to reach out to just uh, even think enough of myself to ask and say, how much do you charge, or would you take me on, or would you even consider me? Because she's like a fucking rock star to me. Lily is,
Yes, she is.
Lily Ma. So just to even email her and talk to her, and when I first started doing Instagram, and I text my wife, Lily said my name in Coach's Corner. Or so yeah, Lily's a rock star to me. So for me to reach out and say, hey, I wonder, because I'm like, how you play that in your mind. Oh, she's too much. There's 100 excuses why I shouldn't call her. I'm not worthy. I can't afford it anyway. It doesn't matter how much she charges because I can't afford it, So,
Like to just ask a small question, like we think of like we take half an hour or 1 hour with all the questions in our mind.
absolutely. And we
Yes.
blow it up into this big thing, and when we finally just do it, it's
It's like
okay.
it's just a few minutes of thing.
Yeah.
And also we feel great, and like we feel like accomplished, we did something great.
Yeah.
We get that feeling.
You take a step forward, yeah.
Yes,
That,
exactly.
and you're getting out of your comfort zone to do it.
Okay, like as we go through your Instagram account, and we see that you're in the phase of quitting smoking. So
Yeah.
what
I'm
is
on
the hardest?
day
Yes, what is the hardest phase in that process of quitting? And like, what is your mental status and what is your thought process during that period?
This time I've tried to quit smoking many times. This time I'm approaching it differently. I'm not fighting it. I'm not battling it. I'm not trying to quit. I'm I'm putting the cigarettes down. I put the cigarettes down slowly over time. I'm on day 26, but I still had a pack and a half left. So I started before I quit to not only document it, but to get me ready in my mind. Okay, I'm quitting, and I'm telling, I'm putting it out there that I'm quitting to help other people see the process, and I'm not approaching it from. I had one suggestion. Somebody said maybe you should put a rubber band around your wrist and snap the wrist every time you want a cigarette. And I'm like, no,
No.
that's negative reinforcement. I wanted to approach my habit of smoking in a loving way, and I wanted to embrace that feeling. Every time I had that urge, I wanted to feel it as much as I could, and then welcome that part of me, that emotion. I pictured it like a young, that when I started smoking, like a young kid who looked with a baby face and just wanted to smoke to look cool. That's who I would talk to in my head and say, "What's up, dude? You're smoking because you're insecure about something. that you have anxiety about something. So let's talk about that, or I just kind of welcome that emotion in, and kind of let that craving pass, and then I would let it go, and they just get less and less. And this time around, I'm no freaking expert, but I'm not even 30 days into it, but it just seems to be so much easier to quit this time when
Okay.
you don't fight it. So
Okay.
my overall disposition has been a lot better than the last times I've tried to quit, where I've just become a raging asshole because I want a cigarette, and I'm going to let that little kid throw a fit and be pissy to people that don't even deserve it because I don't have something I want. I want my binky. That's no way to change a habit, right? You're fighting it.
So, on the whole, what is the one important lesson, or what learn from this process, in your 26 days of your journey? What is the one thing you learn?
Approach it with love. Whatever you're trying to curve, whatever habit you're trying to change, don't fight it. Embrace it, and try to understand it instead of fight it.
Okay, and also coming to your one word. Your one word is inspire, right?
Yes,
And why you choose inspire as your one word? Can you tell us the background behind the inspired?
I can.
Yes.
Inspire to me means two things, really. Inspire means really in spirit. So my biggest desire is to be in alignment with my higher power and in my creator. And however that looks to me, um, in my own intuition, not my religion, not the way I was raised. I finally started taking a look at, I want to know and be connected with I want to be in spirit, the very breath of my creator. That's what inspire means to me. And that is expressed through when I am in alignment with my creator, I am in spirit, then I am able to inspire others in areas that I can help in. I'm not an expert in this, in everything, but I have a experience in certain things, and then I could be used as a vessel or a conduit to inspire and help others to find their way.
Yes, exactly. You are taking small steps towards it. When I go through your Instagram, I see you inspired me. You posted something regarding on your Instagram, and also some about Lily Ma, and something about J Raj, and even Carmichael, and also I have gone through all your posts, Litranda. If someone is on the fan of the day, or you'll also post them and encourage with your love. I saw
Right.
that.
Yeah, I love to do that. I
Yeah.
love to, and you know why? Because when somebody does it for me, it makes me feel so special, and I feel so
Yes.
good because in trying to build self-confidence, I don't feel worthy. So when I get a compliment, I'm like, wow, really? Me? Me? Thank you. So I try to accommodate that. I try to be that for other people. Because
And
you
we
can only give what you have.
yes. And at that time when we get a compliment, we think that somebody is thinking of us other than ourselves. It's like a great feeling.
Yeah. And I concentrate on the up and comings, the ones that don't, I follow who I follow, like Evan, who's got thousands, but I wanna pick a tribe of the people that are around me coming up, and like the up and comings, like I got 14 likes, you know.
Awesome. And like what do you most proud of yourself, and that most people don't know, what are you most proud of yourself?
I am most proud of two things. I'm I'm proud that a little over 7 years ago, I quit drinking alcohol. And I
Okay.
went to AA and I got sober and I started a life again. And then so that was a big shift and change in my life, a new beginning kind of thing. And then about a year ago, I feel like I'm having like this spiritual awakening. So the biggest thing is really setting aside what I was told to believe growing up as a Christian in a religion, in the church. I'm not saying Christianity or any religion is bad. I'm saying
Yes.
that they taught me this, and that was it, and don't believe anything but this. And so when I finally said, okay, I'm going to look at this in spite of what you say, and I'm going to see how I feel about it, and I was opened up to a whole new perspective on a bigger God than what I was offered in my church. So it's really been eye-opening and revolutionary, and it's been a revelation in my life, this awakening I feel like I'm having. It's just been so life-changing that I feel like this is what I need to share with people. If you're a Christian and you're afraid to get out of looking outside of what they're telling you to look for, then I'm telling you I did it, and it's okay, you know. I don't know. That's why I kind of wanted to get into social media, because I need to learn how to share that message, you know.
Okay. And it's like a funny question. Do you have any tattoo?
I do. One tattoo, I got it when I was 19. I was in the Air Force. I was in tech school in Colorado, and I just thought it, like smoking cigarettes, would make me look cool. So it's an eagle swooping down, and my name is in the middle, and you can't even tell what it is anymore because it's faded. I got it in 1989.
Oh, like,
There you go.
and if you want to get one, awesome. Like,
That's it.
if you want to get one tattoo here on your forehead, what will you get? Is it a word or a symbol?
It would I would rather it be a symbol,
Okay.
and I
What
don't
will
even
it
know
be?
what it's the one that the people, when I do yoga, I see it on their mats and stuff. It's like I looked it up and it means something, but I don't know what. But it's some kind of Sanskrit, and basically what it's bringing together, like heart, body, body, soul, and mind, or something like that.
Awesome.
It would, if it had to be one word, it would be
Yes.
namaste.
Awesome. And like, what you are grateful for your life in the recent past? What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful that I'm learning who Tommy is and who he always was, and who I made him to be wasn't as great as who he is. And so I'm learning who this guy is, who's pretty cool inside and has a lot to offer, if I just allow myself the little bit of courage it takes to not think about me and what everybody's going to think about me so much, as opposed to, I do have something to offer. I do have value, and I do know how to bring it, and I do have experience, and I don't try to bullshit that. I'm not going to tell you I know how something goes when I don't. I'm just so grateful that I am allowing myself the opportunity to get to know myself.
Awesome. Like, you also started unlocking Tommy on your Instagram.
Yeah. And I really am. I mean, I'm doing it for other people that want to unlock themselves, just like
Right.
unlocking Lily.
Yes. And like, I'll tell some names. So, like, you should tell what will come up in your mind when you think of that particular person.
Okay.
Yeah. First, Evan Carmichael.
The first word that comes to mind?
Yeah, as a word or a sentence. It can be a sentence or.
The most amazing, revolutionary thing I've seen on YouTube that's for positive-minded people. Creating a BelieveNation is it's just a life changer for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, believe.
And second, Lily Ma.
Lily Ma is a life changer as well in her own way.
Like what is a one word or sentence if you think of that person?
Lily Ma is extraordinary.
Yes. It's her one word.
It is, and she is.
Yes. And J Rice.
J Rise, unique.
Yes, he is. Like I love his like a way of writing, like in his post, the description of his post, like awesome.
I do too.
And Bo, next.
Bo, cocky little son of a bitch. Bo is amazing. He really is. He's somebody I look up to in a big way.
Awesome. Like and your wife, Shannon.
I love my wife.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to tell something? Yeah.
I would love to. My wife is the most amazing, patient, beautiful, giving person I've ever met, and I don't deserve her. But I'm trying to let myself know and realize that I do, because she actually did pick me. So I have to allow myself that. But she is just absolutely fucking fantastic.
Like what is the one lesson that you learned from her? Like what is the one thing, like if you want to rob any like a habit or some like a good thing from her, what that one thing would be?
Persistence.
Awesome.
Every day, slowly, every day she does the grind and then some, and she never complains. She just does her job, and she does it well, and she really cares, and she loves people, and you never hear a peep from her. You're surprised when she gets mad, and you don't know when she's mad. I don't even know when she's mad, because she handles herself so well.
Awesome. And Coffee Catherine?
Coffee Catherine. One word?
Yes, one word or one sentence that like
Coffee Catherine carries a mystique about her that you wouldn't normally think is this kind of girl. She's fucking cool. She is a rock star, really.
Yesterday I saw her post on his like on her stories.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yep. Tracy. I love Tracy. She's one word.
Yes, one word. Yeah.
Come on, what's a good word for Tracy?
It can
Tracy's
be
like a supporter.
Yeah.
She's very supportive. She's very giving. She's like a little a fairy of magical support dust.
Awesome.
You know, here's why I say that. Tracy, you'll put something out there, and all you have to do is wait a few minutes, and Tracy's usually the first one to comment or give you a little pat on the back. So she's a fairy showing up on whatever you're doing, and she goes, "Bling! I'm here, man. You can do it. Yeah."
Yeah.
So
she does on all my posts. Like when I put something new on my Instagram, she'll like it, and also she'll comment. If she'll really like it, she'll comment on it.
Yep.
Yes. And Doug and Mike show.
Doug and Mike, the fearsome twosome. I don't know Mike as well as Doug. Doug and I talk on PM a little bit. I would say they have a heart as big as Florida. Or, they just are out to do something good and right. they've come back from this how to make money thing from Evan, and they're on fire, and they're learning how to do it, and they're doing it better than honestly, they're doing it better than I thought they would. And that's not to mean to discredit them, but I just didn't. It's nice to see the professional touch that they have and their style, and I just like everything about what they're doing and who they are.
Awesome. And the last, me.
You? Well, you're a fucking rock star, girl. You are. You inspire me in so many ways, because when I first saw the School of Rockstars, and I apologize because I mess up the School of Life and the School of Rockstars quite often.
Yeah.
But the School of Rockstars, I thought, who is this? Who is this posting this stuff? And I pictured this, I don't know, kind of like a bodybuilder dude, you know, trying to be motivated and put stuff out, and then I find out that it's you, and it's so inspiring to see what you're doing and how you're doing it, and that you're doing it with the courage of 10 people, because of the even more obstacles that any one of us that actually grew up here in America. You go to another country and you learn how to do it, and then you learn how to do it so well, and then you also, in your time here, are learning how to build yourself to become the person that you want to be for when you go home, and it's just an amazing story.
Thank you so much. And who are the 3 persons most inspirational people in your life? Who are the 3 people?
Inspirational people, I would have to say Evan Carmichael, Lily Ma, and inspirational. Well, yeah, okay, and me, I'll take it. Sure, I need to be. That's a good one.
Yeah, you need to join in that list as well.
I need to recognize myself and allow myself to feel, because I really am changing, and I need to accept it and love it. So, yeah.
It's not a funny question or something. After many, many years, if today is the last day, and today is the last day in your life, what are the 3 truths that you'll pass on to your legacy or your grandson, your future? What are the 3 truths of yourself? When you, if I give you a paper, what are the 3 things you write about? What are the 3 truths you write on a paper?
First, get to know yourself first. Second, learn how to serve others without expecting anything in return, but the gratitude of the service of it. Give from a loving heart, and follow your heart, not where whoever's telling you where to go or what to do and what's right and this is it. Do what you want to do as early as you can, because you're going to want to do it for the whole rest of your life anyway, and you're going to push it down and push it down and push it down. So you might as well just start out doing something you love, because you can, like Jim Carrey says, his father said, you can fail at doing something you hate, so why not do something you love?
Awesome.
If you got a chance to fail, let's fail having fun.
Yes, let's embrace it.
Yeah.
Celebrate. What is the greatest failure in life, and what are how you embrace it, and what are the one lesson you learned from it?
I'd have to say my greatest failure in life is allowing myself to allow alcohol to take over my life and run me instead of me running life.
Okay.
And the biggest lesson I got out of that is it's not all about me. and stop trying to fill this, what I call a God hole. Stop trying to fill the God hole with everything else like alcohol, drugs, sex, money, booze, work, whatever. It can only be filled with God.
Awesome. Like, what is the most important lesson? So, from that failure.
Is that I learned to humble myself and be humble enough to ask for help, and learn how to become a better version of myself through what basically the 12 steps are an analysis of yourself and making things right. Learning that structure is the biggest benefit, because you can take that I've learned in the AA program and recovery, and I apply it to every situation in my life, and it works.
Awesome. Like, do you read books?
I listen to books on
Also
Audible.
Okay. Like, what is your most favorite book? And if you want to recommend your grandson or your son, if you want a gift, what books do you gift?
For the business side of life, I recommend Your One Word by Evan Carmichael.
Awesome.
For the spiritual side of life, I would recommend Dolores Cannon, In Between Death and Life. It's kind of an account of what happens, and what everybody's worried about is what happens after you die. And she explains it, and it really changed my whole outlook on what happens and if there's a heaven or a hell or all of that. It really explains it all. Dolores Cannon, In Between Death and Life, I think.
Awesome. And the last final question, where people can find you, like how, like if somebody want to contact you, where people can find you. I know it.
You could find me right here on Instagram
Okay.
at Tommy.Thrasher. And I go by the name Tommy T because my name is Tommy Thrasher. And I'm mostly on Instagram anymore. I do have a YouTube account, but I don't really do much on it anymore. So just right here on Instagram.
Awesome. Your wife joined our conversation.
She did.
Yes.
I haven't been keeping up with the feed, sorry. Hi, Shan Ray. I'm on Insta Live. Rockstar in it. Yeah, baby.
And these are the questions I have, and I noted these questions in this small little book.
All right. Well, thank you.
And do you
That's
have
awesome.
Yes. How I did it?
How I did it or how you did it?
Both.
What do you mean, like Instagram or just life?
Just like this interview.
Oh, how did you do? You did awesome.
Yeah.
You prepared, you planned, you wrote questions down, and it was a great first interview. You kept me going, and it was very comfortable. I didn't feel, like your questions weren't like, oh, I don't know if I want to answer that. No, so you did amazing, and thank you so much. And I really appreciate being the first rock star on your interview list.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the many, many more that you bring on.
Yes,
And
sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me in live.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye. How do I do it? I don't know how to leave. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I will do it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. And Coffee Catherine, Bo, Positive Academy HS, Nandu, awesome, and Phillips. Thank you all for joining.